Maestro styles, you know we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, you know we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, you know Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.
What up, folks? Welcome back. It's a brand new episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. I'm Trey Frazier. That's the homie Maestro Styles over there.
Yes, sir.
We got a great show for you tonight. You could catch us live right now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, on Twitter, and live on Instagram. What's good, fam? How's everything?
Hey, man, snow kicking my ass, 9 to 5 kicking my ass. But, hey, man, it's another day to talk sports with my homie, man. How you?
Yeah, hey, that's what's up, man. Been a weird start to the new year with the podcast and everything, but we got some stuff situated and we back, for second time in 2025. Can't wait to get things rolling here. Since it's Thursday, we got some big games this weekend in the NFL. There's been a lot of, coaching movements over the past week. There's some openings in the NFL. And we got to say condolences to the Pittsburgh Steelers, particularly Cam Sutton and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Condolences to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you probably have an obituary that you want to put out there right now or whenever.
I want to be very, very honest about this game. Look, man, we were not ready for prime time like I thought maybe we would have been before we walked into that December stretch. Like I've been saying to you all, leading up to it is like, we ain't really play nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Outside of Baltimore, in November. I mean, like you said, if you want to count, I mean, I know the Chargers were a playoff team and Denver was a playoff team.
Yeah, that was early in the year. That was like week 4-ish. Yeah.
So it's like for me, a lot of what our season was going to be told and know that
that stretch. It was division games plus Philly and Kansas City.
Right. And we showed who we were. So to be honest with you, going into this playoff game, man, I watched it. But I was tired. I had been shoveling snow all day. So I was like, look, man, if they do something to keep me awake, then God bless the entertainment.
Wow.
Well, so
I heard a peep from you. I don't think I heard a peep from you or on social media. I think all day leading up to the game.
Hey, bro, it took me. I got myself settled down, and by the time I sat down to watch that game, I watched it for like a couple seconds in my living room. I said, nope, this ain't finna work. Cut it off. Went into my room and cut it on in my room. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. It wasn't long before I was asleep, and when I woke up, it was exactly how it looked in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, all right, cool. Well, I saved myself some stress because my body was already hurting. And let me start prepping questions and conversations for what we're going to do in the off season. So here we are. So if you want to twist the knife as far as the game, look, man, I tell you what, that game saw way more of me than I saw of it.
Oh, when you said you was outside and you was dealing with outside work and then you came to the house, I was like, oh yeah, this dude's done. I like I said, I ain't even heard a peep from you on social media, text messaging, like pretty much the entire day leading up to that game. I was actually, me and the family, we took the train to DC actually Saturday morning. We was at the Kennedy Center at an event for the kids, some artwork stuff for the kids and all that. And then we got back home in time just to catch Texans and Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you, I did win some money. I played a 5-leg parlay, and thank God I forgot to include the Texans Chargers game on my parlay because with conviction, I picked the Chargers, like no hesitation whatsoever to win the game. And obviously we know what happened there. But every other game after that one, the rest of the weekend, the 5 games, pretty much all money line picks for me, man. And I hit all 5. So I was pretty cool about that. But and Justin Herbert, I think we gotta have a little conversation about him.
We'll get there, but I don't feel from what I saw of the game, I don't feel the same way.
As far you're saying like we have to have a conversation?
Well, sure. There's a conversation to be had, sure. But I mean, if we're not gonna Disley drop 2 of them that dropped 2 of them. Disley literally dropped 2 of them. Them interceptions.
Yeah, sure. Can't all 4 of them aren't all his fault.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it like this. If anybody out there thought that Herbert was in the Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Mahomes, Josh Allen conversation, that's put to bed right now. For now,
that's fair.
That's
fair.
That's put to bed.
That's fair.
That's put to bed. But shout out to the Chargers. They had a good season.
What's crazy to me how much people sleep on the Texans backfield, the defensive, the corners. I've been saying it for like those are 2 solid cornerbacks, and I'm losing some name already, but
Derek Stingley
and like those are 2 solid cornerbacks. So it's like I didn't look. I picked the Texans to win. Let me be clear. I had the Texans winning. And I get that a lot of people felt like the Chargers defense was going to, show their ass. Sure, maybe, but I didn't think that they were going to be so good.
They did for a little bit though. Like they picked them off like 2 times in the game. Like it's just that the offense couldn't take advantage of those turnovers at the end of the day.
By the time I got a good look, Joe Mixon was having his way.
Yep.
By the time I got Joe Mixon was having his way. Yep. So I was like, I wasn't expecting Joe Mixon to have his way like how it looked from me watching the game, and I don't have a stat line, but I'm looking at that game like Joe Mixon is having his way, and this defense is tired.
He had a game for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but to the Steelers, man, since we gotta bury us for the off season. It's a lot of things going on, man. I wish I sat there and wrote a list of because people of free agents that we don't need, and but I can't find a piece of paper that I had, and I don't want to get up and make pod and go grab.
Najee Harris is a free agent
for sure, and look, let me. I don't want this to happen. Let me be very, very clear.
Yep.
That in my guesstimation, Najee Harris is gone.
The 2 quarterbacks are free agents, right?
Look, and I'm good on Russell Wilson. He can go. Let me be clear on it. He can go.
Okay,
he can go. I was trying to figure this out for a few weeks now, like what was going on with Russell Wilson. And I forget who was commentating, but they said it, and it made all the sense in the world.
Yeah,
he does not go through progressions well. If he has to hold the ball. He doesn't go through progressions well. And I sat there and thought about it because it triggered me when he said it. And I'm thinking about all the good games he's had in Pittsburgh. And a lot of it was quick, drop back, throw it. Like he wasn't sitting around waiting. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Sure, we can put some of this blame on the offensive line. And that would be fair.
That's where I would go. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. And that's fair. But also as a quarterback that's been in the league, for however long. I'm sorry, you need to know how to get out of that kind of stuff. I'm also reading that Arthur Smith and him didn't have a good they weren't on the same page this year. I'm also reading that. I don't know how true or false that is, but that would explain a lot in these past. But I'm not going to shoot him or Arthur Smith that bail to say, oh, y'all weren't like, for me, it's simple stuff that you could do to try to get out of some of the things that was happening to you, but it didn't even seem like they were trying to make adjustments, and that's what was bothering me the most. It didn't seem like they were trying to make adjustments. Like they would sit there and like he consistently just sits there and hold the ball, waiting for intermediate routes to come open. And it's like, bruh, check is a check down right there. Please go get the 4. Get the 4 yards. It's okay to get the 4 yards. Especially when you know, like I remember specifically with the Ravens game in the regular season, where it's like, bruh.
Which one? The second one?
The second one, yes. The one I'm talking about struggles right now. I ain't talking about nothing positive. It's like, bro, like, okay, I get it. You want to stretch the fields, you want to make them, you want to do that to try to open up the run game. I get it. But Jalen Warren right there. Let's go get 5. Let's go get 5 yards real quick. It don't gotta be 14 every time. It don't gotta be 25 yards every time you drop back. And it's for me, it's like he was so focused on moon ball and getting it down the middle. Those types of things. And it seemed like after a while, it's like, bro, we know the offensive line is not playing the best, and they're not playing the best against top tier teams. It's December, bro. It's December. Like that shit was cute against, no disrespect to the Commanders because they're balling right now, but no, like this ain't the Commanders. This ain't the Broncos in week 3. You know what I'm saying? This ain't like this is
like the Chargers in week 4, whenever that was.
This is playoff football. Like this, like don't get gassed because, and I said it to you when we came on the pod. I'm not gassed about 44 points against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah,
I'm not gassed about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody could score 44 on the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they showed me who they were in that stretch, and I was clear on who they were when it was time to go to the playoffs. So my energy wasn't positive. I hoped to be proved wrong, but I didn't think I was going to be, and I wasn't. I guess getting back to the off season, hey guys, the whole Mike Tomlin conversation. My sister was asking me about it too. Do I think he should be fired and all the things? Yeah. Look, it is very, very realistic of everybody who feels Mike Tomlin should be gone. That's very, very realistic. Playoff drought since 2016. You know what I'm saying? We
6 straight. I think it is 6 straight playoff games. Yeah,
we are a team or a franchise that hangs our head on Super Bowls. So to not even win a playoff game, like the whole narrative about no losing seasons is old. I would rather you have one losing season and get into the divisional round. To people who say that, I understand that, and I would not tell you that's not the way to feel. I get that.
Yeah.
For me, I am not ready to say bye to Mike Tomlin yet. Me personally, Maestro, I'm not ready to say get rid of Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
But if they were to decide to get rid of Mike Tomlin, all I know is Ben Johnson better be walking through that door.
I feel like, and just from the outside looking in, I feel like there's 100% chance that Mike Tomlin is not going anywhere.
I don't think he's going anywhere
this off season. Like,
no.
I feel 100% about that. I mean, there's been conversations about the Steelers trading him, to another team to coach, and it's like, I'm like, the Steelers don't do these kinds of things. Like, I get that we're in a new era, and organizations tweak certain things to kind of stay with the times and all that stuff. But the Steelers, they've had 3 of these things since 1970. You know what I'm saying? So they don't cut the cord on coaches like that. So if I feel like if Tomlin ever leaves Pittsburgh, it's going to be on his own terms.
Yeah,
and it'll be a mutual parting of the ways between coach and management. I feel that that's how a Mike Tomlin departure would commence. I don't think they'll ever fire him. I think it's gonna
I don't think so either.
Be a mutual, parting of the ways here.
I don't think so either.
But you mentioned the offensive line and that 5-game stretch as I'm, because I watched the Christmas game because I was preparing to watch my game against the Texans when y'all was playing the Chiefs on Christmas.
And I'm sorry, not to cut you off, because you said the 5-game stretch, but I'm also including that snow game in Cleveland where we played terrible.
Yeah.
I'm including that snow game. I get we got the win in Pittsburgh and show you, but that snow game we played terrible.
Yeah. And look, and not to twist the knife any further, but I think coming into the season, we talked about that stretch, that second half stretch, where it's like, okay, normally Tomlin gets his teams through these types of tough stretches. It's the games against those inferior teams that you sometimes have to worry about. It's the Indianapolis Colts. It's that version of the Dallas Cowboys this year that we're talking about. So y'all get those two games, early.
We're having a different conversation.
Might be a different conversation.
Yeah.
So, you worry about that. But not only did they have those two losses, but that 5-game, that 5-game streak right there, that ended, and even the finale against Cincinnati. Winnable game, man. Like wow.
All right, now let's have the George Pickens conversation. Look, I'm gonna say this. Is he causing trouble? Yes. Is this any different from
But we're talking on the field, though, right? We're talking on the field.
I'm talking about, well, I'm talking. Well, look, it's off the field, and I don't mean like as far as crime or shit, but like they're to sit here and act like, and obviously respect Tatum. We don't know. To sit here and act like I don't think that there's some type of a dissension between team, organization, coaching staff, quarterback, etc., and George Pickens.
Yeah.
To sit here and say that I don't feel like that's what's going on, that would be a lie. There is something going on.
Oh, for sure.
There is something going on.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So does George Pickens need to grow up? Absolutely. I think anybody who watches, even when he was playing well, before these few games, even before when he was playing well or playing decent, he still had these little knick-knack things that it's like, bruh, like, do you got to do that? And we overlooked it because if you're performing, then you're performing. It's just this simple. He needs to grow up. He needs to go ahead and start, looking at what it takes to be a great wide receiver, if that's emphatically what he wants to be. Here's what I think. Do we need to trade George Pickens? I say absolutely not. I say right now is the time to try to get him for the low. Right this offseason. That's the time.
And what's your compensation in return?
So I would assume that $27 million is the low ball. Like that would be considered a low ball right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to see if I get him at 23, 25. Now he might not go for it, and that's fine. We'll do the. We got time. I'm just saying right now he's eligible. I'm just saying right now he's eligible to try.
We can try year 3, right?
We can try to get a deal. We can try to get a deal done.
You're right about that.
I'm trying to figure out how can I get you in a short, cheap deal to see if you're going to get your act together. Now, by 25, 26, 27 years old, it's kind of more the same. Then I could see, all right, let's try to move on. Woo. But look, this is the bed we made. I say lie in it until it costs us a whole bunch of money. George Pickens, if you can get him to act right, if you can get him in the frame of mind to act right, I think he'll be just fine. But good luck trying to do that. And let's be clear. If there's anybody who can get George Pickens to act right, it's motherfucking Mike Tomlin. It's Mike Tomlin. AB was there. AB was a thing until he was quiet until he wasn't. I don't know what the fuck going on with Deontay Johnson, but
hey,
but we didn't know that was a real thing until he left Pittsburgh.
Hey, DaCosta want that comp pick, bro. It's crazy, man. Like this dude, I had to ask somebody can he play on Sunday? And it was like, nah, he's really like, he's on the team, but he's not on the team kind of a thing. So after this year's up, he's a free agent and he can do whatever, wherever he wanted to go. So I'm like, okay, cool. I just want to know that.
Because let's be clear, he caught a pass. He caught a pass the other night.
When he was with the Texans, right?
Yeah, he caught a pass to the Texans the other night.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't remember where, but I said, they're actively using, it's making an attempt to use him. So the fact that you would do that, like, look, he ain't a number, like, I don't think he's a number one with Nico Collins. I know Tank Dell is down, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have been used. They cut him or waived him or whatever they said they did. He's no longer on the team.
I heard the backstory to this.
Yeah.
The reason for him getting cut by the Texans. So, they in the locker room celebrating the victory. Joe Mixon's got the cigar, smoking on the Charger pack and all that. And they said homie was in the corner, like with his head down, not even, celebrating with the rest of the group. Like, yo, dude, like you just want to, your team that you're on just won a playoff game. Like,
right.
I'm trying to, like, was he with y'all when y'all won y'all last playoff game? I'm trying to think. Was he on that 2016 team?
No. I think he came in. I thought he came in 18. I thought he came in 18.
Okay.
I thought he came in 18.
But with that being said, like, dude, you want a team that just won a playoff game that's about to go to the next round, and you over here in the corner being salty because you didn't get a lot of action your way. So it's a you problem. Like, some people say it's this, is that, bro. It's a you problem, and he got to figure that out, man. Pittsburgh, Carolina, Ravens, Texans, back to the Ravens, which really you're really not even gonna play. So yeah, he costing himself.
Oh, so I didn't even know he went back to the Ravens.
That's what I'm saying. We picked him up off of waivers.
Right. I didn't know that.
That's why I was saying, like, yo, could he actually play this weekend for us? And they said no, he can't play. They just picked him up off waivers, and he's going to be on the inactive list moving forward.
Got you. Yikes.
So yeah, but DaCosta want that comp pick. That's the reason for getting them off of waivers.
Got you. I follow you now. I got you.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. So
I guess my last point for the Steelers in the offseason, and I just kind of wanted to like reiterate this point. I don't think Najee Harris is going to be there as much as I would want him. I want him to be there, but. Let's be clear about Najee Harris. I get that, he split carries with Jaylen Warren and all those things, but I went and looked this up. 1,000 yards every season he's played. And when you talk about the top 5 backs since then, he's like number 5 behind Derrick Henry and Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor and Saquon. So he that's good company, right? That's good, right? So it's like it's just not as flashy. It's just not yielding the results. It's funny because I don't think anybody speaks about Najee Harris in the conversation of a top 10 back in the league, but his production would at least warrant a conversation about him being a top 10 back in the league. Yeah. So it's like, and I'm sure his agent would say, well, look. I get what y'all saying about splash plays and all that, but when you look at my stats, I'm just as good as Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor,
Josh Jacobs,
et cetera.
With the cat in Minnesota, Aaron Jones.
Literally, since he's come into the league, the only people who've ran for more yards than him are Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, and Derrick Henry. Yeah. So now, because of that, I want top running back money. But if I'm the Steelers,
you got Jaylen Warren.
I got Jaylen Warren, and I get the 1-2 punch of Jaylen Warren and Najee Harris is better than the 1-2 punch of Jaylen Warren and maybe a Cordell Patterson. Yeah, but I can save some more money and supplement that.
Yeah, I can respect that. And the way the past offseason has been for running backs, I think Najee Harris is going to get a bag this offseason.
Yeah, I just don't think it's from Pittsburgh. I feel like he would deserve it, and I wish that him and Pittsburgh could come to some terms. if I'm Omar Khan, I cannot see me giving Najee Harris $10 million. I'm like, bro, can you meet me at the 8.5? Can you meet me at the 8.5 so I can get me a quality backup offensive lineman? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you meet me somewhere like at 8.5, 8? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I promise, if you make it through this, and I get it, you asking a lot of a running back where running back shelf life ain't high, and you know the market, like if you're Najee Harris, you're thinking I gotta get every dime I can get. But if you respect what's going on in here in Pittsburgh, think that this team can do what it takes to, but let's be clear, Najee Harris can get $11 million in Dallas, and Dallas, we'd be having a different conversation about Dallas next year.
Oh, for sure. I actually like that move for them.
Yeah, right.
I know they got to figure out who the head coach is going to be and all that, but that would be a good spot.
That's going to be a good spot. Like you take Najee Harris and put him anywhere where a starting running back is needed. And you kind of assume if you feed him the rock that's going to change if your offensive line is hitting on anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's going to find his money if Pittsburgh don't pay it. So, but I think he's gone. I say all of that to say, I hope I'm wrong. Because I want Najee Harris and Jaylen Warren, but I think they're gone. Because here's the other part. At some point, Jaylen Warren gonna want money. Now he's not gonna ask for $10 million because he was the secondary back.
Right.
But he gonna want money.
Sound like a third round draft pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers is gonna be a running back of some sort.
Like I said, I think, man. I don't know.
That's what it sounds like.
Oh, I do know,
but let's talk about some winners and our guy right here. Yeah, I gotta get one more twist in there, bro. I gotta do that. Let's get the homie in here. Our special guest this week, folks, Whittle2K, host of the Coast to Coast podcast, which you can find on YouTube. Also a big time Buffalo Bills fan, as you can see here. Had a big win in the wild card round over the Broncos last week, 31-7, I think it was. So, Whittle2K, man, appreciate you coming on here. Thanks for your time, man. How's everything, bro?
Oh, it's good, man. It's good. Getting ready to go up to Buffalo in a couple of days. Got my ticket.
You going to the game? Okay.
Yeah, got everything. I had to order me some. I lost my like cold weather gloves. I lost them at work, and I had to order some today, man, and make sure they got Amazon primed over as soon as possible. So, I'll be ready to go, man. I'm ready to go. I'll be up there Saturday night more than likely, and I'm gonna meet up with y'all with one of y'all. I call him Mr. Viral, Mr. Kicker. Kicker's gonna meet me up here.
My man,
yes,
Trippy. Shout out to Trippy.
Trippy. Trippy's my guy, man. He's gonna meet us up. He's gonna meet us, me and a couple other Bills fans up there Saturday night, and we all gonna go out. We're gonna hang out. We're gonna tailgate on Sunday, and then go to the game.
Man, that's what's up, man. Yeah. I was so torn, man. I was telling my wife, I said, yo, we gotta find a way to get up to Buffalo. My wife went to school, went to college in Buffalo, so we're kind of familiar with the city and everything. And plus, we got a couple of people up there. And I said, man, if we could only make our way up there, because kids is off from school Monday, ain't no work Monday. It'd be cool to get back on a Monday. And the funds just can't make it work, man. I'm so blown about it. They got like this restaurant around here. They got like 5 full buses of Ravens fans already decked out, ready to drive up to Buffalo Sunday morning, just tailgating for the game. So it's crazy, but it's gonna be a fun one, man. It's gonna be definitely the game of the weekend for sure. But before we get to that, tell us a little bit about Coast to Coast podcast. Shout out to your co-host also. Tell us about it and how you guys came up with the concept and what got you guys, into podcasting?
So I met Brian, my co-host Beyond 716. We met on Twitter, like through Twitter.
Yep.
We have a pretty I think we have a pretty substantial Buffalo Bills community on Twitter. We do spaces.
Yep.
We link up for games. Like they're Bills fans, obviously that live in Buffalo. My man Lee Sean, aka Warlock, he lives in uh Charlotte, and then we have a bunch of other, just everywhere. We're everywhere. So Twitter kind of brought us together. Then talking to Brian. Brian's from Jersey. I'm from Jersey. I still live in Jersey. Brian lives in California. And I have further with the idea because people have been suggesting it for a while. I talked this over with some friends of mine from here. We were going to do just a sports podcast about just all sports. And never could get the schedules together. Life just be life and sometimes. And I talked to Brian. We would be in spaces together, and being that we were both from Jersey, we kind of, speak the same language, so to speak. So I approached him with the idea. I say, listen, man, I'm thinking about doing a podcast, and I would like you to be, go in this with me. We're both from Jersey. You live in California. I live in Jersey. We can call it coast to coast because, West Coast, East Coast, whatever.
Yep.
But we're both Bills fans. So, what do you think? He said, yeah, let's do it. We picked out a time, and really it was just about, really just like educating the fan base, man. Because to be honest, man, some casual fans just ask some of the dumbest questions of all time, and it's just you want people to have, and you want the like for me, I like to have substantial conversation with some substance. So if we can educate the fan base, they can have more substantial conversations with substance, and we can really get into the game and really understand the team more instead of having guys come in and say, well, why don't we just sign Derrick Henry and Trey Hendrickson? We got money, and you have no idea what the salary cap looks like, or 4 years, and they don't understand why do we get this guy $30 million? He's only gonna be in 2 years. Well, there's 2 years at the back end. It's a void years, and they spread the money out. And he's not really gonna be here. Yeah. So we did that, and that was the initial purpose of it. And I mean, it's not really a huge platform, but we do decent. I feel like we do decent numbers.
Yeah.
And and it just kind of took off. So now, here we are, man. I mean, it's fun. We're starting to get merch together. We got picked up by a startup network, the Do Champions Network. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's a lot of fun. The family's on board with it. I don't get yelled at for not coming to bed at a decent time on Wednesday. So, it's good.
Story of my life.
Yeah.
But y'all from Jersey, so northern New Jersey?
I'm from northern New Jersey. I'm from East Orange. I live in North. He's from Ocean County. He's like from Ocean County, like near the shore.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's like Central Jersey. It's like kind of Central Jersey.
Right. Northern. Okay. You from Naughty by Nature neighborhood, East Orange.
Actually, right around the corner. Yeah, like Trey used to sell drugs outside the barbershop I went to as a kid. That was a real true story.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh man.
I grew up. I grew up right off of Halstead Ave. Yeah, in Jersey.
Okay, that's what's up. So, how did the love for the Bills come into play? Being that you're not originally from Buffalo, but you root for them anyway. So, how did that come about?
Well, my pops, my pops, he passed away earlier this year.
God bless.
Excuse me, last year. He passed away last year. And he raised, like I've always been competitive. He pushed that. He's always pushed that. High head, short temper. He always he fueled that fire instead of like, you got to calm down. He's like, nah, go get him. You know what I'm saying? So he was always like that. And My pops was a Jets fan and a Knicks fan and a Mets fan. So naturally, uh, the son is going to go the opposite way. So I'm a Bills fan, a Celtics fan, and a Yankees fan.
Yikes.
So we would, we
Okay.
would butt heads like for a while and like funny, real quick story. So my pops, he had some health concern. He had some health issues probably like 10 years ago, and he had to come and live with me for a little bit. We would not talk to each other for Sundays. Like when the Bills and Jets played, we would be in the house. Like that entire week, said very little to each other.
Facts,
no trash talk, no trash talk or nothing.
It was. If it was anything, it was. I'm making breakfast. You hungry?
Yeah.
No, all right, cool. And that was it. But it like as the game we got closer, it was trash talk there. Like, yeah, you're gonna be mad Sunday. You're gonna be mad. Like, come on, man, y'all terrible. Y'all got no quarterback. Y'all got So it was it was cool, man. Yeah.
So talk to me about this state of the Buffalo Bills, and obviously we're going to get to the playoffs and that type of thing. I say this because we've had some Bills, Bills analysts or podcasters on in a while, and I'll be honest. This time last year, I was talking about how Buffalo Bills. Last year I predicted Buffalo Bills wasn't even going to make the playoffs last year.
Really?
So a lot of my conversations last year, maybe even 2 years ago, was look, Josh Allen can't do everything. He just can't do everything, and because they lean on him so much, at some point Josh Allen is going to burn out, and that was kind of where my stance was. So I guess what I'm asking is I mean, obviously I was dead ass wrong about that, but like, what is the state of Buffalo? Like, do you guys? The best way to ask it is how do you feel about you guys' Super Bowl window?
Okay, I get this. We get this question all the time. So
I know.
I'm going to explain it to you like this. The Buffalo Bills flipped their roster, but anybody that knows the NFL knows that the game is one in the trenches, right? Like if you have good trenches, you're gonna be a good football team. Then you add an Avenger at quarterback, like we call him the Winter Soldier. You add an Avenger to that mix, like you really have the makings of a solid core. So we have that. We have a very good offensive line, one of the best in the league, and from a skill, like depending on the skill set that you're looking for, the Buffalo Bills has an excellent defensive line. If you're looking for pass rush, you're looking for guys to be quick, get upfield, disruptive, bat balls down, things like that. Really make it difficult on quarterbacks. The Buffalo Bills can do that. But they're not built for every style of defense, which is a problem. Right. But that's like the only problem. I think the Buffalo Bills are coached extremely well on both sides of the ball. I think Sean McDermott is one of the coaches that gets the Buffalo Bills get the most out of their day 3 draft picks. Like if you look at the Buffalo Bills roster, they draft very, very well. Christian Benford is a starting corner. He's like top 3 in separation allowed this year from the cornerback position. He was drafted in the 6th round. Matt Milano, all-pro linebacker, 5th round pick. Dawson Knox, 4th round selection. Taron Johnson, all-pro, 4th round selection. Our starting right tackle, Spencer Brown, drafted in the 3rd round out of a small school. So I think the Super Bowl window is wide open. If you would have asked, if you could go back 4 months and say, or 5 months to like August or September and say, the Buffalo Bills are going to win 13 games and they're going to be the number 2 seed in the conference, people would laugh at you because they saw all of the things that we lost and all of the different things. That Diggs is gone and all these guys are gone. We have the 3rd most in dead cap money right now on our books. So the Super Bowl window, if we're here right now, next year that dead cap money comes off. We have 10 draft picks. We have some young guys that are coming up on contract, and we have some older guys that are going to be coming off. We may even get rid. We may even part ways with Von Miller, which would be a big cap relief.
Yeah.
Josh is going to get another contract, which is basically like, if you understand contracts, when they re-sign him, they're going to use his contract as basically a piggy bank to pull from and get other players.
Yep.
The wide receivers are young. I mean, it's just a really, really well constructed team. I think they ripped the Band-Aid off this year and stretched out the Super Bowl window for at least 3 to 5 more years.
Yeah, two things I like what you said. Offensive line and defensive line. Because when they talked about all those changes, most of those changes was in the defensive secondary for the most part. Right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Stephon Diggs not being there no more, that became a thing. But I like that because it's not the sexy thing to talk about when you're talking about offensive line, defensive line. So I like what you said there. And then the coaching part of it too. I think McDermott's one of the, I think it's a top 10 coach, in this league. And to be able to get a lot out of this roster with a top 2 quarterback and be where you guys are at right now, it's amazing to me. I mean, of course, it helps when Miami don't know what they're doing. The Jets continue to not know what they're doing. And, the Patriots, everybody
right
expected, what the Patriots were going to be. We'll see how Mike Vrabel, builds that team up now that they got their coach. But yeah, all that combined, man, I would agree the Bills have a window that's open, for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. So let me before I get facetious, what I took from what you were saying so far was your podcast is based on the casual fan not really knowing the ins and outs of how franchises work and that thing. So to a casual Bills fan, what is like your overall message to a fan about the state of the Buffalo Bills?
The best is yet to come. Honestly, I feel very positive about where we are right now. To be hosting a divisional playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens with the chance to go to the AFC Championship. This is not something. Listen, I had 12-5 in my Twitter bio all season. I wasn't sure about it. I didn't know that the Jets were going to be as bad as they were. Right. I didn't know that Tua was going to, get hurt. I didn't know that the offensive line was going to be 2 years ago, man. I wanted Spencer Brown off this team. Mm-hmm. I had no idea he was going to become this good of a player this quickly. And then we got lucky as well. We got lucky with the NFC South. The AFC South. AFC South fell on their face this year, and we played them. So, had we played the AFC North, our record probably looks a little different. Mm-hmm. Had we played the West this year, our record looks probably a little different. So, I think that in a down year as far as the roster is concerned, the Buffalo Bills had a favorable draw with the schedule. It didn't look like that at the beginning of the year, but nevertheless, here we are. And to have 13 wins, we should have had 14 if we would have needed to play the last game with DeMar Hamlin as a starting safety. Taylor Rapp, who was thrown away by a Super Bowl champion, that really revamped their entire secondary. You would think that they would hold on to a guy that they drafted in the second round, but no, they threw him away. We got him for peanuts. These are our starting safeties. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So the fact that this is where we are with that group, I think it speaks volumes about where this team can potentially go when you look at the prospects of, if we win this game, we've really overachieved. Everything after this game, I think, is house money. We're playing with house money. Yeah, if we win this game. Now, I still want to win. I still want to get to New Orleans, but we're playing with house money if we win. And then when you add in the fact that the roster is where it is, and we have 10 draft picks, and this is a very good draft. This is a very good draft for secondary. This is a very good draft for the defensive line. This is a very good draft for some of the pieces that we need. There's some really good running back prospects in here as well. So everything that we need is right in front of us. This team is good now, and they're gonna be better next year. This is probably the worst Buffalo Bills team you're gonna see over the next 3 years.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mhm,
So
yeah.
so you feel like basically like and obviously you're spectating and talking about the future as if it goes your way, because you said they're playing with house money. Do you feel like do you still feel like Kansas City right this second? Kansas City are still the big dogs, and y'all working up to that, or do you feel like right now y'all can beat Kansas City?
Oh yeah, I think we can beat Kansas City. I mean, we beat them every year outside of 2020. Like 2020 is the only season
Yeah.
that they really swept us. Like, I mean, we blew them out in 21. We
Regular
played like
seasons, yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all get them.
but
that's the problem. Our
but
timing is off. Our timing
your
is off.
timing is off. Your
Yeah.
timing
Yeah.
is off.
I
That's a
mean,
fact.
listen, you guys are in the way right now. Just step aside and let us go ahead and handle our business. You know, let's just do that. But
And let me
yeah, no, that's where we are. That's where we are right now.
so
I think the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl.
That I agree with.
Okay.
That
Okay.
I do agree. That I do
Okay.
agree with. Honestly, I think the winner of this game wins the whole thing.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think the winner of this game wins the whole thing.
I mean,
with respect,
Detroit got something to say.
With respect to the Lions,
we beat them
and
already.
the Rams who've won a Super Bowl 3 years ago, and the Eagles who've been there 2 years ago. With respect to those teams in Kansas City, that's the beast. That's the dragon that both these teams have to slay. It's Kansas City, and it's everybody else. Everybody's looking up at Kansas City. I feel like this is the year for one of these two teams right here, in my estimation.
Sure. Hey, I'm torn, man. I'm torn, man. I do not like the Baltimore Ravens. I don't. I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and I don't.
My mom is a Steelers fan.
God bless her. God bless her.
Yeah. God bless her.
It's a good woman.
Hope she's all right. I hope she's doing all right.
But
she might be watching, so be careful. She'll jump in the comments, man.
Hey, that's what's up.
Hey,
well, hey,
we love all the smoke.
Look, I ain't got a positive thing to say about my team right now. Like I ain't got a positive thing. I'm ready to see what we're going to do in the offseason. But I love black quarterbacks. I do. I want black quarterbacks to thrive, and I want black quarterbacks to succeed. There's this MVP race that we're talking about that's I guess is going to come out at some point. And a lot of the year, let's say November, mid-December, I think I was kind of sold that Josh Allen was the MVP. And Trey is sold that Lamar Jackson is the MVP. Right. It's a two-parter. Where do you stand with the MVP race? And two, in your mind, where does the MVP voting stop? Now, the obvious answer is week 18, but I think it stops earlier than that. I think when we're talking about an MVP, particularly this year, maybe more so than ever, because look, the Ravens ain't playing for real at week 18. Buffalo, I'm not super privy to, but
the Bills had everything wrapped up.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm
Bills
getting
had
at.
Everything wrapped up.
So when
we had to play week 18.
Right. So but I mean, yes,
we had to play.
You had to play a football game.
That
is emphatically true.
We had to win the.
Who would you play? Who would you play week 18? Who would you play week 18?
Dorian Thompson,
Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
Bailey Zappi and DTR.
And look, they weren't trying to win.
Right. So forgive me if I look at week 18 for both teams and for both quarterbacks and say that's a wash. That's a wash. Where do you stand with that, and who's your MVP in your mind?
So as far as the MVP is concerned, I'm over it. Like, I mean, it was so toxic with the back and forth about the MVP, and it was going on for months. And it just got to a point where I'm just like, look, man, whatever. Like, if Josh wins the Super Bowl, he can wipe his butt with the the regular season MVP and throw it away because he'll have a Super Bowl MVP. If you look at if you so let's look at it from this standpoint. Eli Manning is probably going to get into the NFL Hall of Fame
100%
because of the Super Bowls.
Yeah, on the first ballot. On the first ballot,
it's possible. He's got a ton of yards.
I say yes.
He's got a ton of yards.
Yeah.
No, I mean, he's got a ton of yards.
He's compiled
a lot of touchdowns.
A lot of yards.
Yes, he's compiled a lot of stats. Yes. But he's got those moments that, I mean, voters are gonna remember fondly. So that's where I'm at with the MVP. I also believe that Lamar's gonna win it because, I mean, that's what it looks like, because the AP, the voters that vote for the All-Pro team are also the ones who, most of them are also, I believe most of them are MVP voters as well. So
they are.
It would stand to, reasoning would stand to say that Lamar's going to get it. Now, it has happened before where the first team All-Pro quarterback did not also win the MVP. I think that this would be a year that would be fair, because I think Josh unequivocally has been more valuable to his team than Lamar has been.
That's all my argument has been.
He's done a lot. 100%. He's done more with less. I would agree that Josh has done more with less. And the fact that he's the only All-Pro on his team does say a lot in comparison to the Ravens. I think 6 All-Pros on our roster.
Something like that, yeah.
I
think it says a lot about the voters more than it says about the Buffalo Bills roster. But that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah, get your fan shit off. I feel you.
I'm just saying. Listen, if you look at the offensive line only giving up 14 sacks all season long, having 1,000-yard rusher, we've rushed for almost 5 yards a carry all year. I mean, we've let up the second least amount of pressures all season long. I don't know, man. A 13-win team, the offensive line's graded out very, very well week after week. I don't know.
Well, James Cook led the league in rushing touchdowns, right?
Yeah, he was second. It was tied with I want to say Derrick Henry might be.
Possibly. I think it's Derrick Henry.
No, I'm sorry. Mr. Tushy Pushy, my fault. Jalen
Hurts. Right.
Okay, so now, because I hear you. Any offensive line that produces that way, you should be having conversations about all pros. But now for me, you got to put names on bullets, meaning who do you give it to on that offensive line? And I say that particularly because I'm certain that most defenses, when they play Buffalo, they have to be concerned about the idea that Josh Allen is going to break out and run. So that backs defenses up a little bit. So I'm not saying that the offensive line ain't good. The stats are the stats, regardless of how defense plays a team. That's not what I'm not taking that from them. But who on the All-Pro list do you take out for a Buffalo offensive lineman?
Jordan Mailata, the tackle from
Philly. From Philly,
or Tristan Wirfs. Now, listen, I love Tristan Wirfs. I think he's an he playing great football. Deion Dawkins is better. Deion Dawkins.
I was going to say Deion Dawkins is good. I like Deion Dawkins.
Yeah, and the same argument that you're making for Josh Allen, it's bigger. It's a bigger argument for Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts is much more of a runner first than he is than Josh Allen. So.
Yeah, but then you got to talk about team makeup, and the thing is that another, for a long time in this regular season, we talking about another MVP, and his name wasn't Jalen Hurts; it was Saquon Barkley. So, and again, this ain't me disagreeing. I just wanted to know what your thoughts were because, like the thing is that it's hard to pick out one offensive lineman when everybody's doing well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then when everybody's doing well, it's like and defenses are scared of that quarterback busting a 50-yarder because he do one damn every other week. It feel like a 50-yarder for a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to. They would probably, it'd be wise for them to play back a little bit, not to be as aggressive with their pass rush because of that. So yeah, I don't pretend to watch that much of the trenches to pick out like I don't know. I don't have a definitive answer who's better, Dion Dawkins from Tristan Wirth. Me, Maestro. I don't. But I know Dion Dawkins is nice. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like Dion Dawkins ain't nice. I ain't gonna say like, you know what I'm saying? So I could rock with that. I will say that because Tampa Bay's offensive line doesn't produce the way Buffalo's offensive line does, it's easier for Tristan Wirfs to stick out.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't want I'm giving it the I changed my mind, Trey. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would give it to Lamar Jackson. And I think my black quarterback bias is kind of what stuck in at the last minute. But I was hoping that you was going to try to convince me to stand on my guns, but you didn't. Good job for you. Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson should get it. I think Lamar
the
Jackson
numbers.
The numbers are they pale. They pale.
Yeah. I mean, four interceptions, 41 touchdowns.
But damn, but not to cut you off, but imagine if Buffalo had Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like
sure.
Well, we don't even have to go there. We could just say, imagine if Josh Allen had to play in the fourth quarter in most of these games.
Yeah,
because Josh Allen's got over 100 less snaps in the regular season than Lamar Jackson.
Good point. Y'all been blowing some teams out. Y'all been blowing some teams out.
Right. The yards are not that far. The yards are not that far apart.
Mm-hmm.
And the passing touchdowns, there's a gap in the passing touchdowns for sure.
Yeah.
Because Josh, I think, was at 28 or 29 or something like that. I think he was at 28. And Lamar
there's
is
also
like
a gap
40?
There's also a gap in the rushing touchdowns too. I think Josh is in like the double digits for
Josh has 12 rushing touchdowns. Yeah.
And Lamar has like 5, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So there's a discrepancy both ways, but they kind of balance each other out when you total the amount of touchdowns rushing and passing.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done for me in the book, again, let me be clear, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but there's 2 Baltimore Ravens and that I respect. One is Ed Reed, and the second is Lamar Jackson. So I want him. I think he should get it. And Jonathan Ogden. I'm sorry, and Jonathan Ogden. Yeah, he should definitely get it. He should definitely get it.
Yeah, I just hope the voters doesn't use this game as a way to make their minds up about who to vote. I mean, it's a regular season award, but I don't want to be. Oh, they're already in. Okay.
Yeah, the votes go win before the playoffs start.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the regular season
makes sense.
I didn't know that because I ain't gonna lie to you, man. A lot of times it be feeling like, and my feelings, it be feeling like some shit be getting swayed on playoff, on playoff performances. So that's good to know. That's good to know because I've been on here many times like, oh, they just gave that to him because he did this in the playoffs. I just came on this show and said that hella times.
I felt that way too.
No, I'm you're not gonna get me to come in here and try to argue that the numbers aren't MVP worthy. Like they are. Lamar Jackson's having a great, this is the most efficient and productive season Lamar Jackson's had.
100%.
It's one of the most efficient and productive seasons I think any quarterback has had since like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this is where he's at right now: 800 yards, over 4,000 passing yards, like 40 touchdowns. It's crazy. Like the numbers are crazy. But at the same time, Josh wasn't required to do to put up gaudy numbers this year. Like I can point to 2 games where, the ground game was the difference. Miami in week 2, we ran them out the building. Like it was just a James Cook show. And then the Colts game. The Colts game, we were missing our top 2 targets at wide receiver. I think Dalton Kincaid also was out of that game. And it was more of a ground game, and the defense stepped up and gave us some short fields, and Josh got in the end zone twice on the ground. And he didn't need to throw the ball in the end zone. We were able. Well, really, the Colts lost that game more than they held it up on a platter, and we just took it. We've had a few games like that. There have been some blowouts where Josh has not played in the fourth quarter, like the Jags game. We blew the Jags out in the first half. Josh had a ball cap on early in the fourth quarter.
I remember that.
He sat out against the Jets when we blew the Jets out. He sat down in the fourth quarter as well. So it's a lot of different. I mean, I could get into I could formulate an argument for Josh to be considered and make it where the numbers aren't as much of a argument piece. I can just point to last year and say the numbers didn't matter last year. The stats didn't matter because if they did, Dak Prescott would have been the MVP.
Would have been MVP.
Best season statistically. His team won his division. They were the second seed, et cetera, et cetera. But this year, Lamar's having such an amazing season. I get it. And I have a friend that knows a voter, and they're like, bro, we do not want to put another controversial MVP out there like last year. So we'll go with the numbers. So and that's what it is. And I respect it. I respect it.
For sure.
Yeah,
let the standard be the standard going forward.
Yeah, right.
Right.
The
Steelers fan, man. Bro,
Shout out my guy Kevin Sanford. We call him Rough Buff, but that's a Bills fan right there for sure. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Jolene Page.
There's mom. There's mom.
Okay. All right, mom. All right. Appreciate you in the chat for sure. Hey, question.
Give me a rundown before you. I was going to give it a quick. I mean, look, I know it ain't much to talk about it. That ass whooping y'all put on Denver, but real quick.
Yeah.
Something to recap.
All right, real quick. So we went to that game, and number one, we were worried about the first thing we were worried about were the yards after the catch.
Yeah.
Not really worried too much about the running game. So the 2 things that I wanted the Bills to show me this game was, can you tackle an open field, stop them from getting yak yards, and can you limit the explosive plays? They gave up the first, or not even explosive plays, because we've been pretty good at that, but can you get off the field on third down? Those are the 2 things most important to me defensively that I wanted to see from the team. Can you get off the field on third down? And can you tackle an open field and keep them from getting a ton of yak yards after the catch? We did a very good job of that. I think our defensive ends played a heck of a game, limiting the screen plays, the sweeps, the things that they do, the little tricky plays off tackle to the wide receivers and all of that. They did a good job of limiting all of that. I thought our corners were very aggressive in coming up and tackling. I thought that the defensive line played a very good game of contain. And I thought our linebackers and safeties did a very good job outside of one play of patrolling the middle of the field, taking some of that easy stuff away, and making Bo Nix throw the ball underneath the sticks, coming up and tackling, and making them go to the next play. Thought they did a good job of that. Offensively, I wanted to see the philosophy of everybody eats. I wanted to see everybody get involved. We saw that. They went to some non-vanilla passing concepts. You saw man beaters. You saw zone beaters. I mean, we've always had zone beaters. There was a good amount of mesh. There was a good amount of level concepts that they used to free guys up underneath. I thought Kincaid was very good. I thought Dawson Knox was very good. Like everything that I feel like we needed to do in order to prepare for the Ravens game, I thought we did against Denver. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I looked at the Broncos as a tune-up to they're not what the Ravens are,
right?
But they're it's not Dr. Pepper, but it's like Diet Mitch the Fib. That's what the Denver Broncos were in comparison to the
I see what you're saying.
Ravens.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they were a team that good season for Denver, but I just thought the only chance they really had was if Sean Payton had a couple of those like splash plays that he'd be calling, and he did call one. He did have the fake punt in the first half, but then the Broncos couldn't do nothing with it offensively. And y'all had the ball a lot. I think y'all had the ball like over 40 minutes time of possession. So that was huge also, when just staying with the run game and staying on the field and keeping the Broncos off to the side offensively. But I gotta ask you, man, as far as then we'll get to the game. Who do you feel like the NFL wants in the Super Bowl? Because we always have I feel like we always have these conversations. It's like what we want as fans and then what the league wants. Like, if you had to sit in their office and like gauge who do you feel like the league wants to be in the Super Bowl to represent both conferences?
Chiefs this year. I don't. I think they want one of these teams, the Bills or the Ravens, to dethrone the Chiefs and go to the Super Bowl. The NFC side is different though, because I feel like it's Detroit, and I feel like Dan Campbell's such a fun character to root for. But then at the same time, what Jaden Daniels is doing is nuts over there, man. Like, I mean, the kid with the Commanders, I don't know I don't know what the biggest draw is, but if I had to say, and this is a little fan bias, of course, I'm not going to deny that. I think a Bills Detroit Super Bowl would. I mean, I think it would feed. I think it would feed
what I was thinking.
I think that's what they want. They want.
Yep, that's where I was thinking.
Because you get a first-time Super Bowl winner no matter what.
Yeah.
Yep.
And more than that, even
go ahead and say it, Maestro. Go ahead and say it.
They want Josh Allen to win that motherfucking Super Bowl.
I was more so leaning toward they want two white quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
Oh no! Oh, I know they don't want Jaden Daniels black ass there yet. That I know. That I know.
I don't know if I mean. I don't think they want Lamar Jackson in it. I think Lamar, and I think Lamar Jackson's great.
Me too.
When we didn't get Baker Mayfield in 2018, I was like, man, we need to get Lamar, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to get, and we ain't gonna keep Tyrod. We need to get Lamar. Like, Lamar be flicking that thing.
Yeah.
Real. Like,
yeah.
We ended up getting Josh Allen. I was mad. I was like, who is this kid? I never heard of this kid before. He sucks. But, I was wrong, and I'm glad about it. But I don't think they want Lamar in there. I think Lamar is getting a diet version of the NBA Iverson treatment.
Yeah.
A little bit.
They hate that nigga hair. I'm telling you. They hate
Just gonna be
hair.
honest with you, man. Like, I think it's unfair because Lamar has never been in anything. Like, nothing.
Right.
You never hear anything. Like, I found out Lamar got a kid. And I like a Ravens fan told me, yeah, Lamar got a kid. I was like, when?
He keep his life somewhat private, but I didn't know he had. Right, I didn't know that he had.
I ain't know that.
I knew that. I mean, he said it on social media. If you follow him on social media,
I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
Well, that's you. That's you. But
I don't follow no Ravens on social media, bro. You think
But to the Ravens fan that Whittle was, referencing, if you follow Lamar Jackson, then you would have known that he had a kid. So that
yeah.
that. But
I think the point is that he ain't did nothing to not deserve the accolades and to not be put in conversations with some of the best quarterbacks in the league. And obviously they say he's one of the best in the league, but it's different. I think the major difference between Mahomes and Lamar Jackson is those Super Bowls. I mean, clearly, you know what I'm saying? I think we're not having a conversation. I think the conversation for me, and and shout out to Patrick Mahomes, he's done phenomenal things, but Lamar Jackson, in my opinion, is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I mean, when you put what he does along with the running threat, and look, I'm not saying he's a better thrower of the ball than Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying when you're talking about playing football, and you asking me who I got, Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, I'm taking Lamar Jackson.
He could play both the pass and the run.
I think like if you're talking about, I'm starting a franchise and my first pick's got to be a quarterback, and I don't know what else I'm going to have after this.
Yeah,
who am I taking?
Yeah,
it's Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you to your mom for saying this in the chat here. He marches to his own beat, and that to me is in reference to him not having an agent, and you know how the league feels about players that kind of go about their own business their way. The NFL wants players to be represented by real agents, whatever that means, because his mom represents him, and
they want control over the situation.
They want control over
really
the
what
situation.
this boils down to.
Yeah,
I mean, we saw what happened with Colin Kaepernick and the fallout after that with some owners telling hey, if you play for my team, you're going to do what I say, whether you agree with it or not, because I'm signing the check. So that's where we are. That's where we are in America in 2025. So
yeah.
I want Lamar to get that Super Bowl though, so bad though, man.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Next year.
I said this to you. I said this to you last year, Trey, and you kind of got on me, and when I said it, and I'm telling you, man. They don't. You can't have braids. It's like the Allen Iverson thing that Whit was just saying. You can't have braids.
At least Iverson was in the finals. At least he was in the finals.
Yeah, even that was a setup. And I ain't saying. I'm not saying they would have beat the Lakers. I'm just saying that that was
no way that team was beating the Lakers. Not Aaron McKee and Eric Snow on the squad.
Yeah,
no way.
Right.
Nah. But he got there. He got there.
He did.
I want Lamar to get to the Super Bowl.
They don't like this coming through with black hair and braids, and I'm telling you, the NFL don't like it. It's different when Patrick Mahomes got his shave and the little curly mohawk like that.
Jalen Hurts.
Or Jalen Hurts. Yeah.
He might. Well, I mean, but the problem with Jalen Hurts is not him. It's the head coach and the drama around, all of that, the sideline nonsense. Like the NFL don't really want to deal with that too much either. But Jalen Hurts better be careful. You saw that chain he had on at that press conference. You better relax, Jalen. Slow down, buddy.
Trey, I meant to tell you, Trey.
Whoa, my. Stop putting this stuff. Stop putting this stuff out here. I'm gonna have to answer for it later. We have to talk. We don't do two teams. Do 2 teams.
Yeah, like I get it's different conferences, but
I got a cat around my way who is a Philly fan, and whenever and obviously Philly been smoking Pittsburgh for the last couple of meetings, but every time I go to try to talk trash to him before the game, he always talks about that time where Philly and Pittsburgh came together and they was the Steagles, and I will never have an issue with Pittsburgh because of that history. So I'm just telling you I just tell you what folks be saying, bro. I try to talk trash to them because I don't care about it neither. I'm just telling you what a lot of folks say that about a quote unquote Pennsylvania rivalry. They won't allow it to exist because of that whole Steagles history. So I'm just saying where they at with it. I'm just saying where they at with it.
Listen, I got a lot of love for the Giants. So, my best friend is a Giants fan. I got a lot of love for the Giants. They like we wear the same colors almost. They coach, they GM came from us. Like, I mean, they got a lot of our players over there. Yeah, I got a lot of love for the Giants. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah, they in some purgatory right now. So
yeah. Well, let's be clear. I am from the DMV. I've lived way more in Maryland than I have in DC. But you ain't never gonna see me rooting for no Baltimore Ravens. Ain't never gonna happen.
That's right.
hey,
Ain't never gonna happen.
Respect.
You go ahead and take me off the earth the second you got me doing anything outside of losing a bet. I ain't doing nothing to support the Baltimore Ravens.
Respect. Let's talk about this game, Whittle.
Okay.
So we're obviously I know where you at with it, but for your eyes, who's gonna be the X factor in this game? We know what Lamar Jackson's gonna do when we know what Josh Allen's gonna do. Who's your X factor in this game?
Okay. On defense, my X factor is at Oliver. I think this is a game where you need your defensive tackles to be disruptive. He's got to get upfield. And if you go back to the week 4 matchup, you will see Ed Oliver with a lot getting double teamed a lot. Like they understood the assignment and said, keep this dude out the backfield. I need Ed Oliver. I need Ed Oliver to have a really good game this year. To Sunday. In addition to that, I can't even just say Ed Oliver. Maybe I have to say defensive line because I need the defensive ends to play extremely disciplined. I watched that Pittsburgh Baltimore game in the wild card probably about 4 or 5 times this week, and I am disgusted with the lack of assignment football that defense played with. I mean, it was
300 rushing yards.
You got 3 guys chasing where you think the ball is going, and Lamar's just like, okay, I'm gone.
Yeah,
15
Watt
yards here, 8 yards here. So, yeah, like it was nuts. I couldn't believe they played that poorly. But we can't have that. They've got to understand. No matter what happens, this is how we're going to defend this. Cover One did an excellent breakdown of how the Bills normally defend the read option. They do a good job at it. So if you're on YouTube, tap into Cover One. They did a great. Eric Turner did a great breakdown on the Buffalo Bills and how they defend the read option. So all of that, like they got to defend the read option very, very well. I think they also need to keep the Ravens in 3rd and 7+. If you get them in that, now you're taking Derrick Henry off the field. You're getting Justice Hill in there, and as long as you defend the screen pass, or you have an opportunity to get to force Lamar out of the pocket, you can eliminate a side of the field, and our back 7 is very good in coverage. That's how we take care of business. On the offensive side, I think it's got to be Joe Brady. Like I don't want to pick a certain player and say like this player's got to do this because like we need Josh to be good, but I need Joe Brady to keep him in a great keep that offense in really good game situations. 21-3 going into halftime in week 4. We came out. Ravens got the ball. I mean, we got the ball first, punted. Ravens got the ball. We stopped them, punt. Got the ball back, scored. Now it's 21-10. Ravens get the ball again. We stop them again. They punt. We get the ball, and we're driving. We cross midfield. And the Ravens have been notoriously bad in the second half of games. Yeah. You are in at the point. You've played horribly up to this point. On both sides, right?
You're right about that because that was the time when our defense wasn't playing that well.
Folding,
we had like an 8-week stretch. There was like an 8-week stretch where we was giving up about 25, 26 plus a game. And the one game where we didn't give that much up was that matchup against Buffalo. Yeah.
So you have a chance to get it within one score, and really now make this a game. You call a trick play that was blown up. You almost got the quarterback killed. We can't have any of that. You got to stay above. You got to stay in good situations. 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, things like that. Continue to matriculate the ball downfield. Get first downs. Keep that offense on the sideline and get points. Get touchdowns. You got to get points. You got to get touchdowns. Because it's going to be cold. We're used to it. It's going to be cold. So I know Lamar, he from South Florida. He ain't gonna want to be dealing with all of that. So we get points on
Lamar
the board.
will be okay. He'll be all right. Look. I'm in the Baltimore area, and we get these, I guess, balmy winters. Like it'd be like the other day, it was like 40 degrees out, right? So I know that Baltimore winters are different than Buffalo winters. I get that, but Lamar has played in some cold weather games in the past. I think he's like 9-2 in games that are like 30 degrees and under. He's 9-2. He'll be okay. He'll be.
He's never played in the game. He's never played in the game 25 degrees or less. Never.
Facts.
And this will be that. It's gonna be 8 degrees at kickoff. It's gonna be 8 degrees, and it's gonna be windy, and that wind is coming off the water. Listen, I'm a Bills fan. I hate being there in games like this. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be dark. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah,
like you get a hot chocolate and it's warm, or it's warm by the time you get back to your seat. It's bad. So I mean that. The ball's gonna feel like a rock. It's gonna be easier to knock the ball out of guys' hands. It's gonna be tougher to catch, and the Bills do a good job of taking the ball away. We got to get a turnover. We got to generate extra possessions for this offense. So the keys, I would say, Joe Brady's got to be on his game, and that defensive line has to play really, 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 really disciplined football against the Ravens. That to me is the recipe to win.
Yeah. So for me, X factor, and I forgot to mention Derrick Henry as what Derrick Henry's going to bring to the table. It's going to be hard. You talk about it being cold. It's going to be hard for guys to try to get him to the ground, and guys, wanting to be able to try to, hit that dude. Like, there's going to be a lot of business decisions being made when it comes to Derrick Henry. But since it's likely we're not going to have Zay Flowers for this game, he hasn't practiced all week. And I know Coach came out and said that he doesn't really need to practice for him to play on Sunday. But I get the sense that they're going to try to sit him out just this one more game before we can hopefully get to next week. But Isaiah Likely, for me, has got to be a dude that's going to have to be big on third downs and just kind of keeping these chains moving, because as much as I love Rashad Bateman, and he had a okay game against Pittsburgh last week, he caught a touchdown. But if you're trying to throw, 6-7 balls to Rashad Bateman, I just don't know that he can handle that amount of volume of targets, coming this way, particularly in this offense, because, the receivers don't get a lot of targets, week in, week out. You might have Zay Flowers catch, one ball. Like I think he caught one ball against Buffalo in week 4. But in other weeks, he'll catch 8 balls. So, this offense fluctuates when it comes to the wide receivers and targets. But when we get into that 2 tight end set, I need Isaiah Likely to be that dude, like to be that monster that I know we can be. So I think he's going to be like a crucial X factor in this game. So what's the score for you, Whittle? What's the score going to be?
Yeah,
man, come back to me, man.
Be respectful. Be respectful.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I'm gonna say what it is, man. I think this game ends up being. I think this game ends up being 30-23, 30-21, something like that. I think Buffalo gets this to 2 scores. I think that offensively they come out looking to spread the Ravens out. I think they look to attack. I think they look to attack the corners, and and try to get the tight ends and the running backs matched up with your linebackers. And we're gonna try to drive down the field. And when we get close, QB power off tackle.
Yeah.
QB power off tackle. Let's go and get in the end zone.
Shout out to my guy PR, but yeah, if y'all target 21, yeah, he gonna be barbecue chicken, Brandon Stevens, because he's had a rough year.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, that's
he's had
Charles
a rough
Barkley.
year.
Charles Barkley used to say, he said, that's a limo guy. That's a guy you want to make sure he gets to the arena. He don't have no problem. You send him a limo. Because I know I'm going to get him for about 35. Yeah, that's Brandon. Yeah, Stevens is going to get the treatment of a lifetime. Yeah, we're going to make sure he get there nice and easy. For sure.
Indeed. Call the score, Trey.
28-24 Ravens.
Ew, boo. Under 30?
Yeah, I think the weather, I just think it calls for conditions to run the ball, man. Like,
sure.
And shout out to Justin Tucker, because since the bye week, he's somehow got himself right, because he's had a up and down year, in the middle part of the season. I don't want Justin Tucker kicking in Buffalo air. So that's why my score is 28. I think we're going to score 4 touchdowns. All they got to do is just kick them extra points. I don't want him, kicking, 50+ yard field goals in Buffalo. That's not a good it's not going to be a good look. So
give me Buffalo 35-21.
Yo, you're being disrespectful right now, man.
What?
You be
Wait, is this a unbiased score?
No.
It's a bias.
No bias involved.
No bias
involved. I do not want to stomach the idea of the Baltimore Ravens possibly getting to the Super Bowl. So let's just go ahead and kill the horse now, the proverbial horse now. Let him lie, so we can get on and get back to real bickering. I don't want to deal with this
Cause see, I'm gonna come on here next week and I'm gonna talk my trash. So
I don't want to deal with let me tell you about Trey. Trey's a good person. God loves him. That's my brother. Yep. I know him for years. That's my man's. He's the wrong person to be on the winning side of things. And right now, like maybe right now more than ever with the Liberty and who am I leaving?
Yankees got in the World Series, even though they didn't win it, but
he's been a little humbly unbearable, if that makes any sense.
Knicks got to get it together.
The Knicks, but even still, even with the Knicks having their little whatever they having right now, like he on cloud 9 right now, and I don't need no more of his teams being successful. If I'm being honest, it's not fun to pot with somebody where all their teams are like could possibly win a championship or making it to championships. It's not fun. I'm a Wizards fan. That's no fun. It's no fun talking to him about basketball. It's just not fun. I sit here and pretend like
it's over before it begins.
I sit here and act like I'm gonna tap in after the football year, and I'm not, because I know the Wizards not gonna be good.
What about you guys? I mean, Cooper Flag's gonna be there, so you be all right.
Look, I would love to sit here and act like that made me feel better. Like, that didn't make me feel better at all, man. It just made me feel like he was a part of the sick game. Like, that didn't feel good. Yeah, but no.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. In the rematch game, after the Bills take a loss, there's only been 2 teams to beat the Buffalo Bills. Three teams to beat the Buffalo Bills over the last 5 years in the second meeting after they won. Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs in 2020, and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Everybody else we played, when we lost, the very next time we played them, we beat them. And most times we beat them bad. So, I mean, take that information. I don't know how this game is gonna go. Yeah. I hope that it ends up with the Buffalo Bills winning and advancing, because I sure don't want to sit out there for 3 hours in the cold for nothing.
For nothing.
Yeah. Oh,
So
especially in a blowout. If the Bills get blown out, you definitely don't want to be sitting there.
that's not happening.
Sure.
That's not like let's let that go. Let's let that go now. I think it's more likely. I don't think anybody's getting blown out, but I think it's more likely that the blowout happens the other way.
What's
The Bills.
what's a blowout? What's a blowout to you, point wise?
A blowout to me would
Yeah.
be it is possible because the Bills take the football away, it's gonna be cold. The
Yeah.
Bills always try to punch the football out. If the Bills are able to score, open up I watch those Madden simulations on like YouTube where they do like the Madden. I don't know if y'all do, but I watch them sometimes. We actually had a guy in our fan base that used to do them. And I watched one yesterday, and they had the Bills start the game off with a fumble. The Ravens got it, they missed the field goal. And then the Bills scored the following drive, punt, Bills score again, following drive, sack fumble, Bills score again. It's 21-0 at like the middle of the second quarter. I think it had to be something like that. Like the Ravens would have to turn the football over.
It's got to be it's got to be a Seattle Broncos Super Bowl type of a blowout.
Yeah. I mean, the Ravens would just have to play a poor game.
Right.
They would have to play it back.
And I don't see that happening right now.
Me either.
I mean, this man's mother cussed him out after the Philly loss, and ever since then, this dude's been on a tear. So, I don't think it's a blowout. Like you, I don't see a blowout happening. I think this is a close game. I know you got it in the 30s. I got it in the mid to upper 20s. It's gonna be a good game, man. It's to me, it's gonna be the best game of the weekend for me. And I think I think the other three games are gonna be good games too. So
you give Houston a chance. You give Houston a chance.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
I do too. I'm thinking about the first matchup they had about a month ago, and they were in that game until Tank Dell caught the touchdown and tore his knee up, and you see CJ Stroud with all the emotion on his face, and the moment I saw that, I said, "Oh, that's it! Like they're losing this game. Like it's going to be hard to come back from that to try to pull off an upset." So I think coming in, knowing what they got, and let's not forget too, Houston made moves in the offseason to the point where some people thought that they could get to an AFC title game. They got Danielle Hunter. They got Maestro. Yep. Danielle Hunter, they picked up Joe Mixon, who I think, for as much as we talked about running backs throughout the regular season, I feel like Joe Mixon was getting overlooked.
Yeah, he definitely was.
He was getting overlooked, but, he balled out last week, and I think he's going to be critical in this game. So I do think they have a chance to win this game. I really do.
Yeah. Shit, I'd be willing to call an upset. You talk to me the right way, I'd be willing to call an upset. I'm not there yet. I'm just saying I'd be willing to.
Sure. I was gonna say I'm waiting for a score here or some kind of
no. I'm gonna wait.
Concrete.
I'm gonna do a little research, tap in real quick. But
defense good though. Defense good.
Defense is the defense.
They got two rushers and they got them boys in the secondary, so they definitely got a chance. And I like D'Amico Ryans too. He's a good coach. I think he gonna have him ready. I believe he's gonna have him ready for sure. How y'all feel about Rams and Eagles?
I mean, I like the Rams. The crazy part about the Rams is you never know when you're going to get a Stafford legacy game.
Yeah, and right.
When you get one of those, they're going to win because they got a front four that is going to get after you. Like they got four guys that legitimately can get after you on both the run or the pass. Like they're very good. So
yeah,
it's up to Stafford. If Stafford is unconscious that game, like. You're gonna lose to the Rams. It's just what it is. He just doesn't do it enough. He's not consistent with it.
Yeah, right. I mean, look, man, and look, I I don't know if that's. I mean, it's a bad thing for the Rams, but I don't know if that's such a. I mean, this Bama wasted so much of his career on a bad team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I mean, how much more y'all expected me to give? So it's like, and then he went and then he messed around and already got a Super Bowl the second he got off a bad team. So it's like, I could understand why he's on cruise control.
Right.
And by the way, I agree with you. If he decides, ooh, I want to play a game, Philly in trouble. But I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to do it. I got Philly. I got Philly for certain beating Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was tough for me because I thought between the Rams and Tampa, two franchises that have recently won Super Bowls, albeit with Tampa, in the case of Tampa, it was Brady that got him the bowl. He's no longer there. I thought one of those two teams would be in the conference championship round. It was either going to be the Rams or it was going to be the Bucks. So I'm going to pick the Rams in this one. And I hate that because I like the Eagles. I like their team. I like Saquon Barkley and that defense. And I know they lost Jacoby Dean. That's going to hurt a little bit. But I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams to go into Detroit in the championship round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I respect it.
You talk about a storyline. Now
the NFL would
they would love that.
Would be a storyline. Yeah,
they would love that.
that would be. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Stafford to go get his lick back. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or Detroit to get their lick back because he left them.
Yeah, I know last year and that was the wild card last year.
That was the wild card last year.
Okay, yeah.
And then they met again in the opener. This year.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost both of those games. So
yeah. So, look, Detroit. Say what you want. Detroit is different. Say what you want. They different.
Yeah,
they different right now. Like we all agreed, they want Detroit there. They want Detroit in the game. They want Detroit in the game.
Right. How much chance you give the Commanders against Detroit?
Jayden, look, this is in my opinion, this is going to be the first game where my prediction of the Commanders is going to come true, in my opinion, or maybe the second because they did it against the Ravens. You remember my kind of synopsis on the Commanders in the earlier in the year was Jayden Daniels is going to win Rookie of the Year because simply he's going to be running for his life, but the football team is not going to be that good.
Yep.
Jayden Daniels is Jayden Daniels has earned my respect, honor, salute, and all that. But when you look at team for team, bro, like they're not going to be able to deal with Detroit.
There's no question. There's no question that the two teams are different. There's no question about that.
He would have to play the game of his absolute life, along with Detroit playing the terrible game. Like they'd have to play a terrible game.
They'd have to play an interception golf game.
Yeah.
Interception golf game. Yeah.
They would have to play a terrible game. You believe in that?
No.
Keep it a buck. Keep it a buck.
Detroit offense is that.
You don't believe in that Commander. You don't believe that Commander's defense. You don't really believe that Commander's offensive line.
I don't. But here's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Dan Campbell loves going forward on fourth down. You know who else loves going forward on fourth down? Dan Quinn loves going forward on fourth down.
Here's the difference.
If you think, because look. And look, the numbers are the numbers, and look, they can change within one game, but they've converted about 80-something% of their fourth downs throughout the regular season. I think they was 20 for 23, and then they went for it on fourth against Tampa in the wild card round last week and converted, I think, 2 of those. And to me, I thought that was the difference in the football game, in my opinion. But if you don't think that, because look. No pressure. They weren't supposed to be here, but they still trying to win. So if
I
you
don't know
think
about no pressure, bro. I hear you. Like I get it. I get it that nobody has the Commanders winning, and that should take something off of it. But right. I don't think that team with those veterans, the Bobby Wagners of the world who understand, the moment. Like I don't think it's no pressure. Now, obviously, if we want to talk about who has more pressure between Detroit and Washington,
no question it's Detroit.
Yeah. It's Detroit, sure. No but nah, bro. I don't think. And let's be clear, Jaden Daniels, as good as he's played, as good as he's playing, all the accolades, all the things. This is gonna be his first playoff game, bro. It's not many who just walk into. I'm sorry, second, but
I'm about to say, damn, the disrespect for Tampa, damn.
but, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, right? But it's good teams and it's teams that's going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And when you look at Tampa and when you look at Detroit, you're talking about two different levels. There's really levels to this shit. You're talking about a Super Bowl contender team to a team that played in the NFC South.
Good team, by the way.
Yeah, we ain't talking about the same. We just not.
By the way, that Tampa team beat Detroit and they also beat the Philadelphia Eagles. And I get it was earlier in the year, but they got that. But they got that. You can't take that away from them. They got them 10 wins. People want to say, "Oh, they played the South." They got swept by the Falcons.
I'm about to say, sir, we were saying that all year. Me and you have been saying that all year.
Sure, but I can reflect, right? The regular season's over. I can reflect. They won 10 games. They got swept by the Falcons, but they got some quality. They got quality wins on their schedule. They beat the Chargers late in the year when the Chargers was rolling on their win streak.
Yeah.
So they got some solid wins. But I agree with you. They are a good team, and then there's a team that's got places to go.
Yeah.
Detroit's got places to go.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, we're going. I guess we got one more question before we let you go, man. We love to do this every now and again, where we ask our guests their top 5 of a certain caliber thing. It's always a fun exercise because we get our listeners to say, I guess a testament to the caliber or integrity of the guests that we have on our show. So if I asked you, I got a Commanders fan who watches the show, and if you don't put Art Monk in your top 5 Commanders, in his mind, our guest is an unqualified guest. I'm going to ask you your top 5 Buffalo Bill players of all time.
I ain't gonna like this, man. But
it's your list, though, man.
But it's your list.
I'm gonna go with OJ. Yep. He's on the list. Obviously Bruce Smith.
Yep.
Does it have to be just players?
Complete turnaround from when we first moved over here.
Just players. Can't be coaches.
No.
Players.
Okay.
Man.
All right.
Players.
All right. So Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas. And
you said OJ already.
OJ, Bruce Smith, Thurman Thomas. Rest in peace, OJ. By the way,
out. Yeah, I don't want to leave. I'm gonna have to leave somebody out. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go Jim Kelly and Kyle Williams. I feel like I'm leaving
Williams.
I'm leaving Josh Allen out. I'm leaving out some other guys that I think.
Gerald Talley, if you feel that way about him.
I feel I don't want to do it, but
I
could throw in John Fina. Shout out to John Fina. He keeps up with the fan base. I could have threw Stevie Johnson in there. I love.
I was about to mention Stevie Johnson. I was about to mention him.
Stevie Johnson was my guy.
I've never heard Kyle Williams in a Buffalo, and we've heard some Buffalo.
Oh, Kyle Williams is Kyle Williams is a Buffalo goat, man.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about locker room speeches, man, you got to see some of that dude's stuff, man. He is motivating. Yeah. So
that's what's up. That's what's
All
up,
right.
man.
Hey man, so first of all, we appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you coming on, spending some time with us.
Thank you.
Before we
Yes,
let you
sir.
go, just let the people know where they can find you. Plug anything you want to plug.
Okay, well, I mean, my social media handle is at Whittle2K. I mean, that's Facebook. Is it Facebook too? No, it's my regular name on Facebook, but don't look for me on Facebook.
Right.
Twitter,
We understand.
Instagram, yeah, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Spoutable, whatever. And then Coast to Coast, we're also on Twitter as well. And we're on YouTube. Coast to Coast is on YouTube. At Coast to Coast NJ is the Twitter handle. We're on YouTube. Coast to Coast Podcast NJ. And that's where you can find us. We're part of the Do Champions Network. And yeah, that's about it, man. Like we run it. Like if you want to talk Buffalo Bills stuff, you want to connect with Buffalo Bills fans, hit me up on Twitter, man. We have a vibrant community. We talk, we link up at games. There are people that give tickets away. That we do all of that. Like we meet up for tailgates. It's a lot of fun, and so yeah, like that's what I got, man. But I thank you guys for having me as always. Hopefully, Trey, the next time we talk, I'll be able to, respectfully let you know we won like you did me in week 4. So
Yeah, hey, and
it
when
was
we win,
respectful. Like he didn't even come at me sideways, so I was like. I was a little upset, but
Yeah.
he was respectful with it. So when you spoke about him, I was like, "Man, that's not the Trey I know."
Yeah, man. No, he's the look.
He
I'm gonna
took it
tell you.
easy on me.
I'm a little sneaky. I'm a little sneaky with it,
And I'm
but
gonna tell you this.
Okay.
I'm gonna be respectful though.
And let's be.
Okay.
This is definitely the reserve. I know Trey from 2001 when he had the Jason Sehorn jersey and the white do rag from Brooklyn. So yeah, he was. Yeah, times have changed. Let's say that times have changed for sure.
No doubt. Hey,
My God,
and Whittle, I appreciate you. You having me on your platform as well earlier in the year. So much
Absolutely.
love to you
for sure.
and your co-host too. Shout out to him as well, man. And tell him we said what's up, and we're gonna catch you on the other side for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Be
y'all
safe,
have a good
man.
night.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
You too.
Later.
It's the homie right there, Whittle2K. Make sure y'all check out his podcast, Coast to Coast Podcast on YouTube and all other social media platforms. Quick shout outs, man. We got some folks in the IG live chat, man. My sis Slim Baller 14. What up? Shadyboots.com jumped in here. Tiffany Sports and Heels. What's good? What's going on? Happy New Year. She says, condolences on your loss, Maestro. And then, she had to get that in.
Of course.
She had to get that in. She also said they want Josh Allen to dethrone Kansas City because they want him to get the MVP over Lamar. Sure. But like Whittle talked about, and we learned this, earlier tonight, the votes is already in. So we don't got to worry about voters being swayed.
And look, you know me. I believe that that's what they say happens.
Mm-hmm. But they doing some other stuff.
They might be doing some other. I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Opening the envelopes.
Yeah, hey, bro. I don't know.
They opening the envelopes,
Hey, man. If they could cheat on the presidential election, they damn sure could cheat on the MVP vote.
You're right about that. And when it comes to the NBA lottery, can we at least see the balls come out the thing? Pause. Like, can we at least see them like draw the things? You know what I mean? Like, we don't get to see that. So.
Hey, I want to do my 2 quick shout outs, NBA shout outs. Shout out to Steph Curry for passing Allen Iverson, scoring leader all time. He's now 28 of all time. And I know this is older, but Chicago Bulls are retiring Derrick Rose's number. It's going to be.
They did that already. I thought they had the ceremony. They did.
Okay. So last I saw, they were supposed to. They're doing it, but you're saying they did it already. Oh yeah, great speech. I remember the speech. Oh yeah, you're right. I remember the speech.
Great production by the Bulls, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like a 13, 15 minute video. They had him come out. They had Joakim Noah, come out, say some words, and then Derrick Rose came out, had a message for his son and all that.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff, man. That was dope.
Shout out to Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls. That's I won't stretch, but it's Michael Jordan and then it's Derrick Rose in Chicago. Like that's pretty fucking dope.
It is. And I was asking somebody who else is up in that rafters, because there's other players up there. Scotty, obviously.
I would have to assume Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, Scotty's up there. I thought somebody said Horace Grant, but I didn't believe him.
I don't believe that either.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But I mean, for sure, Michael, Scotty, D Rose, for sure.
Yeah.
I'd like to find out who else's numbers.
I mean, I'd be honest, but like who else? I mean, who?
Yeah, right. Right, like so that was dope what the Bulls did for Derrick Rose, man.
Where is Deion Sanders going to coach the NFL? Fast, quick hit.
No. No. You believe that?
Do I believe that he's going to coach in the NFL? No, I do not. I do not. As of right now, I do not. Quick hitter. Another quick hitter. Did the Patriots want Mike Vrabel the entire time?
I believe they did.
Me too.
But it's like these other teams do with the Rooney Rule and all this stuff. They announce, hey, we interviewed Byron Leftwich, we interviewed Pep Hamilton, and and all this stuff. But they knew exactly who they wanted to be. And honestly, I think the moment the Jets interviewed Mike Vrabel was when the Patriots was like, oh, hell no, we can't let him go there.
Go there, right? Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's when it was like, okay, we got our guy. And it sucks that it was at the expense of Gerard Mayo. Shout out to him.
How do you fire a coach after his first year with a new quarterback, bro? Like I get the whole my players are sensitive thing, and maybe he lost some brownie points.
Some stuff in the media that he said. That was kind of crazy. I feel like that stuff is fixable. Don't you think that stuff is
I feel like that's not a fireable offense in your first year, and when he's an ex-player. Like he's not that far removed from playing football. So it's it's like, bro, like, come on, man. Like, he thought he was trying to relate to players who play football. Like, this is a competitive thing. And maybe it was a misstep, and maybe it wasn't a misstep. But I don't think that was a fireable offense. And certainly, their record, when you look at their roster, he shouldn't have lost his job. He should have had time to develop a team.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
My last quick hitter. Make sure everything are quick hitters if you come in no homo behind me.
I got one.
Okay. Did Skip Bayless attempt to pay that girl 1.5 to have sex with her?
Oh, come on, dude. I didn't think you was gonna bring this up. We were so like, because we didn't do the show last week. We were so
quick. I had a lot of shit to say. So I summed up everything I had to say into that one question.
Oh my God, yo! I don't think, bro.
Did he offer her 1.5 for sex? Yes or no? Don't got to go into it. Yes or no?
Oh my God, yo!
No need to get into it.
Nah.
Okay.
He didn't do it.
Okay. Right.
He didn't do it. But I
say less.
Say
less. You ain't got to do no more.
You ain't
got to do no more.
I know, because. Had we did the show last week, I was prepared to go in about 5 minutes.
This show was going to be 3 hours because I had so much shit to say.
Because right. But yes, no, I don't think he offered $1.5 million. And I'll throw a quick hitter in here. I just saw earlier that Tubi is going to be live streaming this year's Super Bowl, which I think is pretty dope.
Yeah,
given Tubi's platform and everything like that. I think it brings a brand new audience to Tubi, and I think it'll open up more opportunities for Tubi to maybe, film some NFL content.
I love Tubi, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tubi.
Some good stuff on there.
I have not yet gotten into the regional hood movies that everybody keeps trying to tell me to get into. The ones with the bad acting or the bad
acting.
Because they don't got all the necessary resources to put
the props. You be seeing all the props and the strings and stuff.
Yeah. I haven't got into those yet, but Tubi be having some good shit on there, man. And because now most streaming services got commercials, unless you want to pay for ad free, it's just Tubi to me now. So shout out to Tubi. A quick what do you call it? Secret about me is I watch Samurai Pizza Cats on Tubi a lot.
Ah, okay. That's what's up. Is that a
it's
live
old
version of it?
No, Samurai Pizza Cats is an old
cartoon.
90s, the 90s anime show.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep,
No, it's the old 90s show.
Yep, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So shout out to Tubi.
That's what's up. What up, though? Carlton Henry in the chat.
What up?
Good luck on the Lions this week.
I should smoke them. No, Commanders fans, no disrespect. Y'all had a great season.
Yo, your mention's gonna get filled, bro. Don't do that. Shout out to Carolina Girl 16 in the IG live chat. Appreciate you coming in. Big thanks to Whittle2K for coming through.
For sure.
Talking the matchup, Buffalo Bills, Baltimore Ravens this weekend. Appreciate everybody in the chats. Live chat tonight between Twitter, IG, YouTube, and Twitch, and Twitter and all that good stuff. Continue to follow us on those platforms. IG, you can find us at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. And if you got questions or comments, hit us up on the email barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. And if you got, any kind of reviews or anything, just listen to us on this, on the audio side, whether it's Google Play, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Those reviews definitely go a long way. So that's it for the show. My show. Appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to it next week. We got a dope show. Love, peace, and happiness to everybody out there. And as always, mind your damn business.
Drink some water.
Oh yeah, we got him. Trey, Frazier, and Maestro styles, we got one. Right back like we left something. We don't duck smoke, we want all of it. So line them up, Trey sharp with the blade, we sizing it up. I'm quick to catch the fade, Styles making the cut. Cause we coming out clean every time that we showing up.
It's gonna be called The Barbershop.